All right, there we go. It is time. What is up, y'all? I have finally given myself a nice little haircut. Just a small little touch up. But no, I don't. It's nice to finally be able to show off like literally most things. There are some things I sadly could not get completely done in time, such as any type of background music. I could not get that done in time. It is mostly done, but a mostly done song is still not done, and so it would be just going on for quite a bit. But no, it feels really nice. I don't know if I would do it like I did again. Uh, but like I guess I should go into a bit of the process. Back, I would say, mm, maybe maybe March, maybe April ish. I knew I kind of wanted to not like I how should I word like whenever I debuted the very first time. I kind of just, for lack of a better term, I just threw I kind of just put a bunch of things together. Like the panels were made in on Twitch in like probably a total of 5 minutes. The banner is quite literally just fail from DJ Max and stuff like that. I kind of like, you know what, it's something I want to do. I'm gonna go do it. And so there was never any type of proper thing. There were some things I was not as happy with, as satisfied with that I wanted to eventually get done. And so around March or April, I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time I do things a bit differently, a bit get a quite a bit of a change up. You know, dye my hair a bit, get a little bit of a haircut, maybe miss some trims on the edges and whatnot, and stuff like that. And it was I really am proud of a lot of the way things turned out. The room is still under construction. All that they left me is a desk, and so I can game a bit. I don't really got anywhere to sleep at the moment. I just got a nice little wallpaper on my wall. But outside of that and stuff like that, very, very proud of the way things turned out. Again, I don't know if I would do it the same way, because it definitely, I wouldn't say a lot more than I expected. It was a bit about what I expected, a bit more in some ways, a bit less in others, but a lot of it came down to I did not realize how much cutting into the amount I would stream it would be. Like how much, like whenever I was working on it. Luckily this time, whenever I was, not streaming as much, especially in the last couple of weeks, at least I have a reason this time. At least I can give y'all a proper reason. It's not maybe the best reason. And again, if I ever decide to get another haircut, I would probably not do it in the same way. I would definitely space myself out a bit more, and also try to get some help and stuff like that. It was a bit nuts. But no, I don't know what really to say here. I technically didn't even have a proper debut. I just started streaming, like, I think it was Kingdom Hearts, my very first go around. Well, not very first go around. I think that was my very first stream. It was either that or, let me go look actually, because I want to see when it was. Yeah, it was Kingdom Hearts followed by like Uma. And so that was about 10 months ago. I never had anything proper, and so I don't have, and at this point, I don't got stuff to say like, oh, this is who I am, this is all this other stuff, this is all of it. I feel like it would be a bit weird considering I've been streaming for almost a year now, which feels very, very weird to say. It's been 10 months. When was the date? Let me go look. Like 10 months is September 2nd. Yeah, we are approaching just 1 year, which feels very, very weird, to be honest, that it has been that. And then also like the very first stream having, I say in the description that the stream is muted until 450 because I accidentally added 2 zeros on the mic delay. I think now is time, after a year, I break that secret and say that is in some way that's true. I did add a bit too much of a mic delay, but the reason it was muted is I forgot to do something as simple as unmute my mic. I forgot that happened in the very first stream. There's some streams I look back at in order to see, oh, how have I changed? Oh, how have I done all this? Oh, how have I do I, like check audio quality, check just quality in general, make sure I'm doing stuff right, make sure I'm doing stuff the way I want and whatnot. And very first stream is me just not having a working mic for the first 5 minutes. It still feels very weird. The now loading and be right back screens, I eventually, like, once the music that I am working on is done, will be touched up, which is going to feel very weird getting rid of those, because as bad as they are, I've grown very attached to the Nintendogs music with the very low res like dance from DJ Max and a very generic background that is, if I remember right, I think it's like 3 backgrounds I put to go on top together in Photoshop and changed the opacity and light filter on, and that's how they came out. Which I still do that like in a bunch of images because I think it looks nice. Like the profile pic of me is exactly what I did. Well, not exactly what I did. I had images I liked and I wanted to find a way to use them all, and so I did. And just stuff like that. But no, like it definitely feels nice, especially now that I can just focus for the most part on streaming. The last stuff I need is stuff that is a lot more, like, for lack of a better term, minor. It's not any major change, like getting the panels fixed up finally is not anything that will eat forever into my time. Doing stuff like finishing, because what I want to do for the music, I guess I should say this, is a goal that I have, and I can look back on this debut whenever it may be and probably make fun of myself for either completely missing the goal or completely taking way too long on the goal. But my goal for the music is the first thing I release is about like 20-ish minutes of gonna be like, you know, I would say royalty free, but that makes it sound like a scam, because whenever I hear royalty free stuff, I still picture like watermarks and stuff over like on the pictures, like on stock photos that are free, but they're not free. You gotta pay still. But like 20 minutes of music that anyone, like background music that anyone could use, and that like I would use myself, you know, because considering, you know, I made it, just that anyone can really use. You just got to credit, you know, the number one way that any artist or musician loves to be paid, and that is pay me an exposure. Like, like definitely the number one way that anyone wants to be paid in exposure is what I'm going to ask for on that stuff, which that is my plan with that, which I cannot wait to look back and say, wow, I completely just missed the mark on that, or I completely just did not even do that and completely changed my mind on something. Like if I do have background music, the first batch at least will be anyone could use with credit and stuff like that. But I digress. That is stuff that is something that is probably the thing that will eat up the most time, but should not impact streams really at all. That is just me. Hey, I'm in that type of mood. I just heard a clicking sound, like someone was speaking, like someone was turning a microphone on, and now I'm very weirded out. I don't know what that was. I just heard that come through my headset. Well, I guess not headset, my cheap like earbuds that I get, because they're about $5 and they sound decent, which is another thing I eventually want to get, is a proper thing to listen, because it's hard to judge the audio track levels whenever I'm listening to something that is very, very cheaply made and will last me about, on average, about 2 to 3 months. Well, actually, these have lasted me about, I would say, at this point, 6 months. I'm taking good care of these. But no, like the first, like I was tempted to wait until like Campaign Evolve came out, because I've been really looking forward to that, and make that like the first thing I play now that, like, you know, proper 2.0 and stuff like that is up. But then I realized that I have like, especially in the last week, where I'm like, I'm just going to buckle down and not even delay this for like a couple more weeks. I'm just going to get this over with. But I have not been streaming as much as I wanted. I've definitely been very bad at keeping up with that. And so I didn't want to wait even more. And so, especially because I didn't want to start a series knowing that this was around the corner. And so that will be one of the first things that I start up with in 2.0, like, hopefully be able to redeem myself when, like, after the 100th anniversary, not 100th, the 100th stream, like, thing happened where my controller was breaking. I was a bit rusty to begin with in Combat Evolved in the first place, and then with the controller breaking, it just made it go from, hey, I'm going to take like 6 to 8 hours to beat this, into, wow, my joystick is currently out of my controller, I am washed, I am on the 3rd mission, about 4 hours in, I'm just gonna not do this. I have been I need to get fully into speed running and doing it again. That way I'm not rusty. That way I can make a video showing I'm going to redeem myself and stuff like that and go through. Because that is kind of how I figured out my USB-C was melting my carpet. I'm like, I have an urge to play some Combat Evolve before before Campaign Evolve came out. And I'm like, okay, why is this stuck to the floor? Did like something sticky get down there? And so I pulled on it and there was a lot of carpet. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I touch it and it's burning hot. And then I looked down and realized those are burn marks on my carpet. And I just realized that this entire time, for I don't even know how long, to be honest. Like, it was probably like, I don't want to say it was probably like X amount of time, because it could have been going like slowly just heating up for a while. But now I just have a small hole in my carpet from where it just melted it. I still don't know why. I try to figure out. It has some substance on it. I think I don't know what it is, to be honest. Like, it has like carpet and then like some brown, like, I wouldn't say flux, but some brown gunk on it that I don't know what that is, to be honest. Like, I really do not know. But outside of Campaign Evolved, there are a couple things I wanted to start up now that I feel comfortable starting some new like series up without having to risk getting a haircut in the middle of the series, and also like not knowing how jarring that thing would be, like, such as I do want to, like, I have a huge urge to go through Persona 3 Reload again, like, not like again for like this channel, but do it just again because like seeing Revival, it has me in the mood for like seeing the stuff involved in Revival. But the thing is like, one, I recently played through Fort Golden, I would say less than a year ago. Like, I think it was like right before I started, like before I debuted, and I'm like, I think that was one of the games where I'm like, I want to stream, why am I not streaming this? Like, I'm having fun doing this, I'm talking to myself, like always, why not just talk to myself, but this time have my ramblings be out there. And I think it was that. And so I want to, and plus I want to make sure in February when it comes out, I am not like, I've already been through this before, like just, a few months ago. So why am I doing this again and stuff like that? And so Reload is what I want to do. I do want to play through a game that I've had in my Steam library for a bit. And by a bit, I mean, how many years? Probably 10 years, and have only an hour in, probably whenever I got it, that I am somewhat interested in trying again in Cook Serve Delicious 1 and 2. Probably would do 2, to be honest, because I remember 1 being kind of not bare bones, but definitely more of a beta for what was to come and stuff like that, as well as like after I went through the Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. I say went through because I never finished it, and man, that jump scare of like, hey, you got to collect all those Scooby snacks will forever haunt me, because I really wanted to finish that game. I cannot bring myself to go collect that much. Like, that is, and so I didn't even look up the ending. I didn't earn the ending, and so I'm not even looking up like what happened fully. But it did make me want to go through like a couple of other games that I used to have. Well, I still have them, like, just on the PlayStation 2 that I used to play through a lot more, like Looney Tunes Back in Action and stuff like that, and go through, like, just those and see, how, like, let's just go ruin my nostalgia a bit, or, like, confirm my nostalgia and stuff like that. And then, like, that along with Campaign Evolved. Like, Campaign Evolved will start on the day it fully releases, because I ain't paying that much extra money to get it, like, what is it, like 5 days early? I'm not doing all that. I'm going to be honest, I am not doing all that. I am most likely not even going to pay for the full game outright, whenever it comes out. I am probably just going to spend the bare minimum on Game Pass, because I know I'll play it for about maybe. I'll probably beat it and do everything I want to do in less than a month. I would hope, unless things go horribly wrong. And then whenever I want to like own it, I'll buy it whenever I get the urge to do it again is when I'll buy it probably. And then during that time, I might decide, hey, I'm gonna do 5 Royal instead of 3 Reload, because it's like 5 Royals on Game Pass. I already own Reload, but I might as well I already own Reload and Royal, but it's all in one app, and convenience beats any type of practicality for some reason. That's worse quality just because it's easier. Even though that one's up to some, actually I never downloaded it on Xbox app. I would technically have it downloaded on my PC twice. I don't know if I could actually say like, hey, I own it on Steam. Can you load it here? I don't know. I'm just now rambling to myself. But I'm hoping to have the background music stuff, like the 20 minutes stuff, out by. I don't want to give a firm date, but my goal is mid-August. Like, that's when that will all come out. It's not going to be anything with vocals. It's literally just going to be background music. Like, it's not. I don't know the right way to describe how I want to do it. Like, because if. It could quickly change. Like, I don't want to make it just the most generic lo-fi like stuff imaginable as background music, because I'm gonna be honest, I think is relaxing as some lo-fi music can be, I don't think it's that entertaining to make, and so I don't want to do that. I kind of want to make it a bit more I don't know the right way to word it without giving just a proper example of one of my Oshis, and that's like how Syntheon has some of her stuff, like that style of thing, but without like copying it like word for word, bar for bar, and just making it like also my own thing, like making it not like as, I guess I would say at like, I want to say as electronic, and more of using like guitar, piano, and stuff like that. That's why it's like a weird lo-fi thing, but I'm aiming to get that out by mid to late August. And then all the other stuff that I talked about, the series, Campaign Evolve, will start up on the day it comes out. Cook Serve Delicious / Persona will be probably, like, if it's Cook Serve Delicious, it will be this weekend. If it is Persona, it will probably be after Campaign Evolve. It will most likely, I'll have Cook Serve Delicious this weekend, and then have that like playing that in maybe like Looney Tunes Back in Action, to be honest, until Campaign Evolved is out, and then start Campaign Evolved and Persona around the same time and go from there. Like, I know what 4 games I want to play next. I just need to figure out like the proper order. Like, it will start this weekend. It will start probably tomorrow. And today, after this, probably about, I would say 5 minutes after this, I'm going to make sure everything works properly by playing the tried and true Deadlock, by relaxing after about, a good while of getting things figured out here, by playing a hyper-competitive MOBA shooter and stuff like that, and doing everything like that. The best way to relax is by playing a game that makes you tense, word to the wise and whatnot, and so I'll most likely be doing that here about 5-10 minutes afterward. Just, give me both play Deadlock, and as well as make sure that everything is working properly, check things out and stuff like that, because I have tested a lot of things, but I'm looking at myself right now and still expecting things to break, to be honest. I'm still expecting things to break, but that will be in about 5-ish minutes after this. I'm probably not going to ramble on much longer. I am probably going to finish this up, and then in a few minutes afterward, I will start up some Deadlock and whatnot. And probably I need to update the profile pics now that everything's fine. The cat's finally out of the bag and stuff like that, and go from there. It'll be like about 5 to 10 minutes. Actually, well, let me see what time it is. Currently 7:22. I would say probably 7:45, like CDT. So about instead of 5 minutes, it'll be about 20. If I edit it now and whatnot. Like, I'm just rambling to myself right now. I got a lot of stuff about this to say. I got a lot of stuff about it to say, which I'm going to go probably more into detail on the Deadlock stuff, because one, I need to like I want to talk more about the melted cable. That way I can properly clip it up and stuff like that, and make a funny, because I think the story's hilarious, as well as just some other stuff about like the process behind getting everything sorted out that I do not think will be fitting of this, because I want to be talking about more of my goals, more of what I want to do, more of what is to come, more of how much I like my haircut and stuff like that. On the bright side, eye patch is finally gone. I finally have depth perception again for however long that may be, and stuff like that. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss my old hair. My old hair was pretty nice. It was pretty. It's pretty nice. Pretty hard to maintain, to be honest, on how like straight it is. Instead of like just cutting it myself and then dyeing it. Like it might be a bit uneven. I might be a bit tired, as you can tell by the dark circles. But I got myself a nice haircut. Eventually, I might like say like, what, this hair, I kind of want to get it cut some more, and then I'll cut around and whatnot. But everything else, like everything, I don't think if there ever for whatever reason, if there is a 3.0 in the line, there is no way I'm doing it the same way again. It was definitely an experience. Definitely going to pace myself a lot better and make sure I can do things. Now that I've done it once, because like I said, the first time I debuted, I kind of just went for it. I kind of just went at it and just said, I want to do this. I'm going to go do it, which is, I think, a good way to do it, to be honest. Like saying, I want to do this, go do it. And then as time went on, there was more stuff I wanted to do, and that's why this came about. Where that eventually culminated to, I want to go doing this for a while. I want to go do this thing now. I'm going to go make sure, I want to go do it the way I want to do it now. And so, now that I've done that process once, I know now how big of a task a lot of things are compared to how it was whenever I just haphazardly threw some stuff together, like my Twitch panels or my loading screen and stuff like that. Which the loading screen, like I said, that ain't changed until I get the music done. Which I'm nostalgic for, even though it's it's very something. But anyway, hopefully this debut down the line I could revisit and say, man, some of those goals I laid out, I hit. Hey, I kind of rambled for about 30 minutes about nothing, because I originally wanted to get me a kind of a, hey, I want to cover this, I want to cover this, I want to say this, and I forgot. I'm going to be completely honest. I kind of forgot to do that, and so I'm just I have the list in my head that I'm kind of just going down, but my head is it's a bit jumbled at all times, and so it's just kind of like flying around. But no, it is it's nice. That's all I gotta say, is it's nice to finally have the cat out of the bag. It's nice to finally go back fully to what I want to do, rather than some stuff that I wanted to do what I want to do. Not to say the process, a lot of it was not enjoyable. To say like, oh, I had fun creating this. Like I had fun creating a lot, like pretty much everything I did. The problem is that it kind of ate into the streaming part of being a streamer. It kind of ate into that. It was not good. That part was not no good. But anyway, I will be live at around in about 20 minutes with some Dewa, just doing that both to relax, which is, like I said, ironic considering it's a MOBA shooter with a lot of stuff going on, as well as testing out some stuff behind the scenes, making sure everything is working properly, and if things break, figuring out where it's broken. And so that'll be on 20 minutes, at least on Twitch. On YouTube, I'm not 100% sure, mainly because if things start breaking, I don't know if, like, it feels weird for me to have to unlist or private a VOD of stuff going wrong. But it will most likely be there. Like, I'll post, I have a thumbnail made, and so it'll probably be there. Just if things go wrong, it'll become Twitch only, if that makes sense. Like, if things start breaking, it will become that. But anyway, it's I don't know how to end this up. Normally I tell people to have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night, and stuff like that, which I still hope you do. But the thing is, I'm hopefully going to be seeing y'all in like 20 minutes, and a lot of this is just I'm not used to just chatting. I'm not used to doing that. I'm not used to doing like that at all. Actually, I think this is probably my second just chatting stream. The first one being me whenever I was silly thoughts doing silly things a few months ago, whenever I then decided to go through this like journey after because they're completely unrelated on why they happen. It's just that this time I feel like I could actually have a proper reason for it. A good reason or not, that's up for debate. I think yes and no, but I digress. Anyway, I guess thank y'all for watching. I hope my future self understands some of these ramblings better than I do at the moment, and I hope I do 2.0 proud. But anyway, I'll see y'all in about 20-ish minutes for maybe about a couple hours of Deadlock, and then from there we'll be starting some stuff on the weekend. Anyway, I will see y'all then, and until then, take care.